and I do the tune of Staying Alive in my brain.
If you forget 2 finger breaths, it's always mid-nipple.
There's some women, I've never. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. And I'm talking while I'm doing this, so we'll go over it we'll go over it beat by beat in sequence. On that 30th breath, if you are a single rescuer, one rescuer person, you're then going to give 2 breaths. How do you do 2 breaths? Again, a 2-handed process. You're going to come off. You use the palm of your hand to lift the head back. You can actually lift an entire body by pushing on the forehead and doing it that way, just like that. Palm of the hand on the forehead. Use that same hand to pinch. So pinch the nose. You don't want them blowing in your ear at that point. You're going to do a chin, with the other hand, you're going to do a chin lift, and you're going to do 2 deep breaths. We have one.
You can go ahead and do it.
I'll do it.
See how his chest comes up and down?
So
A real
chest
person
rises.
will do that too.
So you'll actually see a chest rise, and you want to look at that out of the corner of your eye.
You'll know if they have their airway open, because if you go to give a breath and it doesn't go anywhere, if you can't, if you meet resistance, you don't have their airway open. I'm sorry.
No problem. I was actually going to get to that in just a second. So, 2 breaths, back to CPR.
Now, I'm coming in, I've already called 911. I'm here to help, I have an AED.
Perfect. Let's continue CPR with the 2 people first, and then we'll apply the AED. The person who's doing the compressions is always the quarterback, and so he'll be the one directing at all times. So at that point, I'll say, give me 2 breaths at 30, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Do not leave the chest. You want to keep the hands in the same position. Don't compress the chest to make that person's breathing harder, but just leave it in place. And you want to make it a nice, smooth rhythm.
Do you want to switch off?
Mm-hmm. We'll switch on 30. So at that point, we're switching. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The compression person does 2 breaths, and then the other person reinitiates. Continue CPR. At that point, the AED is up and running. This is the simplest part of the whole.
Why don't you use the one that they're going to have?
Okay, actually, why don't you demo that one, and then I'll do compressions, and you can demo that one. Because I wanted to do this part.
Great. Oh, he wants to play Staying Alive. This is the AED device. You just grab it. It's in the case like this. You don't have to unzip anything. You don't have to do anything. Pull the green tab, and there's another green tab right here inside. All you do is pull it out like that. And usually the pads come out with it. These pads are in here. These are they're already attached to the AED device, so you don't have to do anything except pull this out. Once you get this out, go by the picture that's on the AED. You're going to place the pads. And if you don't look at that, you can look at these. They have the picture on here. One of these is going to be placed up here at the top, and it has a picture on it. The other one is going to be placed over here to the side on the left side. Your heart is here. What you're wanting is when it shocks, you want the shock to go from this pad, across this way to this pad, and you want it to shock the heart. So that's what the placement is, up here and over here, so that your shock goes through to the heart, okay? Once you get the pads on, you just hit the green button.
Training scenario 4.
He's going to tell you everything to do.
Assessing heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient.
Don't have to touch them, nothing right now, it's just
Analyzing.
reading the rhythm.
Do not touch the patient. Stand clear of patient. Shock advised.
Don't touch the
Stand clear
patient,
of
stand
patient.
clear.
Press the orange shock button now.
When you press the orange button, it's going to deliver the shock through the person. You can't
Press the orange
be
shock
touching the
button
person
now.
anywhere, or you will get shocked also.
How many volts is it?
Pardon?
What's the
Press
charge?
orange
It starts
shock
at
button
200,
now.
is it 200, and then 260, and then 300.
Volts.
Disarming.
Yes,
Joules.
joules, joules.
CPR.
Okay.
It's, enough to light 2 light bulbs,
Okay, fine.
okay? Starts out with a weak one, but then increases in its strength as you have to redo it. So just you hit that. Oh,
Stop CPR.
it didn't want to wait for me.
Assessing heart rhythm.
When it tells
Do
you
not
to
touch
shock,
the patient.
it's the orange button in the middle.
Analyzing. Do not touch the patient.
And you don't touch a patient so it can pick up the EKG.
Stand clear of patient. Shock advised.
Okay, this time I'm
Stand
gonna.
clear of patient. Press the orange shock button now.
Okay,
Shock delivered. Begin CPR. It is safe to touch the patient.
so you gave the
Place
shock,
overlapping
he's
hand
telling you
in
to
middle of
continue
chest.
your
Press
CPR,
directly down on
and
chest.
basically
In time with metronome. Remain calm.
it gives you the metronome. So this is telling you how fast to do your compressions. So you keep going with this. It is actually gonna count for 2 minutes. So it's gonna take you through 5 cycles of chest compressions and breaths. After the 5 cycles, it's gonna tell you to stop, and it's gonna reanalyze, so it's gonna see if anything's going on. If the first shock in your CPR worked, it might be picking something up, and you might not need to give another shock, but it will tell you, it will say, you need to shock again, and you do the same process again. You just hit the orange button and it'll shock again, and then you resume CPR. If it actually picks something up, it's gonna tell you that there is no shock needed, which means that you don't need to shock this patient. If the machine tells you there's no shock needed, check for your pulse. If you don't have a pulse, go back to CPR, okay? But the machine, if it tells you that there's not a shock needed, it's picking something up.
So then that goes on for 5 cycles of 30 and 2. So 30 and 2, 30 and 2, 30 and 2. Be that 1-man or 2-man CPR, you're still doing 30 and 2. It will then reanalyze. It will walk you through the entire process. I'm going to stop here, just to let you know. But this is the exact AED that you guys are going to